Shir Chadash, take 3.
I think I was fast anyway.
Maybe a little. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם. יעשה שלום, שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. ועל כל יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם.
Justly, love mercy, walk humbly with thy God. Asod mishpat, ahavat chesed, hatznei alechet im Elohecha. Only you do justly, ברוכות הבאות תחת כנפי השכינה, ברוכים הבאים תחת כנפי השכינה. May you be blessed beneath the wings of Shekhinah. Be blessed with love, be blessed with peace. ברוכות הבאות תחת כנפי השכינה, ברוכים הבאים תחת כנפי השכינה. May you be blessed beneath the wings of Shekhinah. Be blessed with love, be blessed with peace. May you be blessed beneath the wings of Shekhinah. Be blessed with love, be blessed with peace. ברוכות הבאות תחת כנפי השכינה, ברוכים הבאים תחת כנפי השכינה. May you be blessed beneath the wings of Shekhinah. Be blessed with love, be blessed with peace. May you be blessed beneath the wings of Shekhinah. Be blessed with love, be blessed with peace.
If you don't have a book, I tried to grab a bunch of them and you want a book, they're just around the corner when you leave the sanctuary doors. So anyone is welcome to get up and get a book if they'd like one. You can also just follow along by listening. It's your choice. So if you'd like a book, if you're coming in, they're just outside the sanctuary doors around the corner in the gallery. Feel free to grab a book. And we're going to begin reading together on page 67. We're in the middle of the page. May the door of the synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love and all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, and hopes to nurture. May the door of the synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. So Shabbat Shalom, we are honored and excited to be celebrating the bat mitzvah of Marlo Zeller this morning. Marlo will be leading us in prayer, reading from the Torah, and sharing some words about the holiday of Sukkot, which we are celebrating as a Jewish community at this time of year. So we'll be calling out page numbers along the way, and if you'd like to sing or read with us, please feel free to do so. This is a collective group effort. Even though we are behind masks, we love to hear your voice. But you'll hear Marlo's, and she'll be guiding us, and we'll invite her forward at this time, as well as Janet to provide her talit.
You made it, huh? Hopefully it was fun. So, I know you were thinking about whether you wanted to have a talit or not. So, this is a talit from my father, your great-grandfather, and it also was the talit that your mom had at her wedding. So, I was thinking as we were talking about whether you should have a talit or not, that, and it was just after Yom Kippur, and the rabbi in my synagogue had talked about the difference between something holy being a place or a time, and mentioned that Moses couldn't get into the Holy Land. And I always thought that was a punishment. But then I was thinking, well, maybe it's not such a punishment. As my father always used to say, "Ober jetzt," which means And now? So what are you going to do now? And so I was thinking that a holy place, so if Moses was looking to get to the holy place and couldn't get in, well, there was kind of a disappointment, but in not going in, he had another journey. So the holy place was a place, but maybe holy is also a time that we can be together, a time that we can share something. So to me, that kind of special time, and your mom will appreciate this, is kind of chocolate. So I was thinking that if you had this great big chocolate shop someplace and you wanted to get to it, and even if you got to it and you said, oh wow, all this chocolate, I can have all this chocolate, how much chocolate could you eat? But if you had the time to go back every day and get a little bit of chocolate, that might be nice, right? So today, when you become a bat mitzvah, I give you this talit, and I wish that you have all the time and the space and chocolate to make your life sweet. I put it on. Mm-hmm. I love you. Beautiful, thank you. Okay, Marlo, you're gonna step forward.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahitatev batzitzit. We continue on page 74 with the reading of Ma Tovu.
Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Vani berov chasdecha avo v'techa eshtachavel haichal kodshecha v'yiratecha. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Vani tefilati lecha Adonai et ratzon Elohim berov chasdecha aneni be'emet yishecha. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Adonai ahavti me'on betecha, umkom mishkan kevodecha. Vani eshtachave ve'echra evracha lifnei Adonai osi. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael.
Marlo is going to continue leading us on page 76.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yatzar et ha'adam b'chokhmah uvara vo, nekavim nekavim, halulim halulim. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who formed the human body with skill, creating the body's many pathways and openings. It is well known before your throne of glory that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. Baruch atah Adonai, rofei chol basar, umafli la'asot. We continue by thanking God for our souls on page 78.
Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. 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 Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi.
Please join us as we chant, starting on page 80, thanking God for the miracles of everyday life. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who's given the mind the ability to distinguish day from night.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who opens the eyes of the blind.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who frees the captive.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who lifts up the fallen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who stretches the earth over the waters.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who strengthens our steps.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who clothes the naked.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who gives strength to the weary.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who removes sleep from the eyes and slumber from the eyelids.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who made me in the image of God.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me free.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who's made me a Jew.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who girds Israel with strength.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who crowns Israel with splendor.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah.
Amen.
We continue together on page 88. These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study, morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all. We chant responsively on page 97.
Ashrei Yoshvei V'Techa, Od Halalucha Selah.
Ashrei ha'am shekacha lo, Ashrei ha'am sh'Adonai Eloham.
Tehillah LaDavid, Aromimcha Elohai HaMelech, Va'avarcha Shimcha Le'olam Va'ed.
Bechol yom avarchecha, ve'ahala shimcha le'olam va'ed.
Gadol Adonai Umhulal Ma'od, V'ulik Dulato Ein
Dor
Cheker.
l'dor yishabach ma'asecha, u'barotecha yagidu.
Hadar Kavod Hodecha, V'divrei Niflotecha Asicha.
Ve'ezuz norotecha yomeru, u'gdulatecha asaprena.
Zecher Avtucha Yabihu, V'tzidcharcha Yiranenu.
Chanun v'rachum Adonai, erech apayim u'gdal chesed.
Tov Adonai Lakol, Vrachamav Al Kol Ma'asav.
Yoduch Adonai kol ma'asecha, ve'chasidecha yivarchucha.
Kavod Malchutcha Yomeru, Ugvuorcha Yedaberu.
Lo dia libnei adam gevorotav, u'kvod hadar malchuto.
Malchutcha Malchut Kol Olamim, Umemshalcha B'chol Dor Vador.
Somech Adonai l'chol hanoflim, v'zokev l'chol ha'kefufim.
Ein Echol Elecha Yisaberu, V'ata Noten Lahem Et Ochlam Bito.
Poteach et yadecha, u'maspia l'chol chai ratzon.
Tzadik Adonai B'chol Drachav, V'chazid B'chol Ma'asav.
Orov Adonai l'chol korav, l'chol asher yikre'u be'emet.
Ritzon Yirei Av Ya'aseh, Ve'et Shabbatam Yishma V'yoshiem.
Shomer Adonai et kol ohava, ve'et kol harashaim yashmi.
Tehillah Adonai Yidaber Pi, V'yivarech Kol Basar Shem Chako, Le'olam Va'ed. V'anachnu Nevarech Ya, Me'ata V'ad Olam. Hallelujah.
We continue singing Psalm on page 150 on page.
Psalm 150.
We continue singing Psalm 150 on page 100.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Kol Shema Tehallel, hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol Shema Tehallel. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Kol Shema Tehallel, hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol Shema Tehallel, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Please rise and turn to page 106. Yikadav yikadav shemei rabbah.
Amen.
Ba'al man divrach himutei, yamlich malchutei. B'chaychon uvyon mechon, uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael.
Bagala uvizman kariv v'imru.
Amen.
Yeshmei Rabba Mavorach le'olam u'almei almaya yitbarach.
Yitbara v'yishtaba, v'yit ha'ar, v'yit roman, v'yit naseh, v'yit hadar, v'yit haleh, v'yit halam. Shemei dekudisha,
Brichu
le'lam min kol birchata, v'shina anta.
tushbechata echemata damiram belma ve'imru.
Amen.
Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai Yael lai 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 lai. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach leolam vaed. HaMevorach HaMevorach leolam vaed.
Please be seated. We continue on page 110. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvorei choshech, osei shalom uvorei et hakol, hameir la'aretz v'ladarim alecha barachamim, uv tuvo mechadesh bechol yon tamid ma'asech bereshit. Please read with me on page 113. Love your neighbor as yourself, you said, and light blinded we saw, that the inner and outer worlds are one, as you are one. You spoke and we wrote, we reached for you down the centuries, your light moving before us, as we climbed and fell back and climbed again, your Sinai of life. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava. Shema
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod, Shem Kavod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed.
We continue chanting on top of page 116.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol lebavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha v'hayu hadivarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'shachvecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha Laman tizkaru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
We continue responsively on page 121. The eternal truth is that you alone are God, and there is none else.
May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice.
Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks.
Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war anymore.
You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart.
The stranger that sojourns with you shall be accepted as your equal, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor? Asks God.
We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy.
Praise to God Most High.
Blessed is God and deserving of blessing.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh, Nora tehilo tosef ele. Shiracharasha shirachu geulim leshimcha safar hayam. Yachad kulam hodu ve'emlechu ve'amru. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Sur Yisrael kuma bezrar Yisrael. Ufidechinu mecha Yuda ve'Yisrael. Gohalenu Adonai Sevaot Shemo. Kadosh Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Ga Yisrael.
Please rise.
Turn to face the ark with your book. Whenever you're ready.
Adonai sifatati tafu hila vita hilatecha.
Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VaHanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Kohonei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem, L'Ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayei hakol atah rav lehoshia. Mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechayei hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim ve'rofech holim, umatir asurim. ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מחמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדשים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד דבייך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ, כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו אחד הוא אלוהינו הוא אבינו ומלכנו ומושיענו והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו לעיני כל חיים אני אדוני אלוהיכם ימלוך לעוני לעולם אלוהי ציון לדור ודור הללויה לדור ודור נגיד גודלך ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
These next few moments are for your own silent prayer. Please feel free to take as much time as you need and then find your seat when you're ready.
שים שלום, שים שלום, טובה וברכה. שים שלום, שים שלום, טובה וברכה. שים שלום, שים שלום, טובה וברכה. שים שלום, טובה וברכה. We each hold a gift, man and woman, boy and girl. There's as many pieces of this gift as people in the world. And if we put them all together, maybe we can find a way to build a peaceful world one day. Sim shalom, sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha.
So up until this moment, Marlo has led us through the bulk of the prayers of our service. We move now to the reading of the Torah, and you can find that on page 244.
Ein kamocha va'Elohim Adonai, ve'en kamasecha, malchutcha malchut kol olamim, umemshaltacha b'chol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai oz lamo yitein, Adonai yivarech et amo shalom. Avarachamim etiva virtzonocha et Zion. Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim. Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim. Kivecha lavad bataknu, melech ramanisa, Adon olamim.
As everybody please rises, I'd like to invite Amy and Eva forward to open our ark doors, and then I'll ask Janet and Amy and Marlo to stand here at the bottom of the steps. Marlo, come join your grandmother at the bottom of the steps here.
Ki mitzion tetze Torah.
So Amy and Eva, you're going to come forward and open the
Ki
ark door.
mitzion tetze Torah. Uravar Adonai Merushalayim. Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Lamo Yisrael B'kidushato.
Okay. All right, so Janet, you're going to come stand next to Marlo, and so is Amy. We're going to actually do some generational order, so we'll have Janet, Amy, Marlo. Thank you, Eva, that's terrific. Okay, so actually I think this is quite beautiful because it's not quite in generational order because we have a great-grandfather in the form of a talit, and then a grandmother and a mom and a daughter, which is really quite beautiful. So let's go ahead and take this off. So I'm just going to hand this to you for a moment. Thank you. In Judaism, we have a phrase that we often repeat. The phrase is lador vador. It means from one generation to the next. The idea being that none of this tradition matters if we don't continue to pass it on to those who come after us. And by that I mean the active verb of passing. Because Judaism is very much a tradition of doing, that we could spend our whole day studying the contents of this scroll, this Torah, the 5 books of Moses, but it doesn't mean anything if we can't figure out how to go out into the world and live the values that we get from the contents of the scroll. And we do that best, we figure out how to walk in the world best by watching those whom we love and admire who come before us do it first. Right? We watch their modeling, and then we follow their behavior. So what is happening today with this passing of Torah is just one example of the ways in which you all passed on your values together as a family and as a community to this beautiful young woman. And she is who she is today, yes, because of the two of you, and yes, because of the great-grandfather's tallis that you wear on your shoulders, but because of all of you who love and care for her and have modeled the way to walk in the world. So, pass this first here to you, Amy, and to Janet. And Marlo, once it comes to you, we're going to sing the first line of the Shema.
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Gadol Shemo. Gadolul Adonai iti, Unoram Mama, Shemo Yakdav. Al Shalosha Devarim, Al Shalosha Devarim, Al Shalosha Devarim, Haolam Omed. Al Shalosha Devarim, Al Shalosha Devarim, Al Shalosha Devarim, Haolam Omed. Al HaTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gimelu chasadim. Al HaTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gimelu chasadim.
Please be seated. Marlo, you're going to take the cover off. Just pull. You're going to put on that cover stand right there. Please stand. Yep. Marlo is going to read from the book of Exodus, even though, technically speaking, we are at the very end of the book of Deuteronomy, ready to transition back to Genesis. But because it is the holiday of Sukkot, Marlo is going to read from the section of the Torah that speaks about the observance of the holiday of Sukkot. And she is going to bless over her one Aliyah. She's going to chant all her verses at once, and her mom is here to join her for that. Let's see. Let's just make sure we are at the right spot, Miss Marlo. Here's your yod. Okay. Okay. Yep, okay, great. So we say, Ta'amdu ora batnia lichbod haTorah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar banu min kol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Amy, if you just put your hand here, great. You are right here.
Vayomer Adonai el Moshe gam et hadavar hazeh asher dibarta e'aseh ki matzatachem ba'enai va'edaha b'Shem vayomar hareini na et kibodecha vayomer ani a'avir kol tuvi al panecha v'karati v'Shem Adonai lefanecha v'chanoti et asher atain v'arichamti et asher arachem vayomer lo tuchal lirot el fnei, ki lo yir ani v'chai. Vayomer Adonai, hine makon iti, va'at nivsavtav al hatzur, v'chaya va'avor kevodi, v'samticha b'nira tatzur, v'sakoti chapi alecha adovri. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'hayei olam natan betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen.
We take this moment while our Torah has just been read to offer a prayer of healing for those in need of Misha Berach. We think of Steve Geringer, Paul Richter, Crystal Miller, Charlie Baugh, Dick Eskind, Steve Gould, B.B. Weinstein, Alex Morgan, Bill Drongowski, Edria Ragason, Janice Grossman, Jill Gutnicht, Florence Wittenstein-Saperstein, Mike Harris, Alan Mandel, Caitlin Kopelman, and Jerry Kopelman. If you'd like to include a name for someone you'd like to mention for healing on the Shabbat, please do so at this time. Please. Thank you. You're welcome to just say a name out loud if you'd like.
You can find the words on page 253. Misha Berach Avotenu Makor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Makor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
In our Torah this week, we read, V'hag Shavuot Ta'aseh Lira Bikurei Kitzir Chitim V'chag Ha'asif Tekufat Ha'ashana Shalsh Pamim Ba'ashana Yirei Kil Zechu Rurei Et Pnei Ha'aduz Yehuva Aluhei Yisrael. You shall observe the Feast of Weeks, of the first fruits of the wheat harvest, and the Feast of Ingathering, at the turn of the year. 3 times a year all your males shall appear before the sovereign Adonai, the God of Israel. I will drive out nations from your path and enlarge your territory. The choice of the first fruits of your soil you shall bring to the house of your God, Adonai. Our Torah this week prescribes us the way in which we are to observe the holiday of Sukkot. Of course, we read this section on Shabbat during the holiday of Sukkot. Makes sense. Sukkot's historical meaning dates all the way back to the times of Moses and Miriam, when the Jews were struggling to break free from the idea of slavery after they escaped from Egypt. The Jews had run out of food and were debating whether or not to go back to Egypt because they had nowhere else to go. To me, Sukkot is a time of welcoming people into our homes and our shelters, inviting them in for a meal, showing them gratitude, sharing what we have with them, even if they are complete strangers, sharing what we have with friends and family, and honoring the patriarchy and matriarchy of Israel. We celebrate Sukkot by building shelters and inviting people in for a meal. We wave the lulav in 6 different directions and shake the etrog to send a blessing to all of creation and for a good harvest. What is a sukkah? A sukkah is a shelter built out of boughs and branches of plants and trees. The requirements for building a sukkah are that the sukkah cannot be too open to the sky, but just enough so that you can see the stars through the branches. The sukkah must have 3 walls and stand on its own. When inviting people in for a meal, if it is raining, wait until midnight to eat, because perhaps by then it will have stopped. If it is raining but the people are poor, feed them immediately, because they are probably hungry and haven't eaten all day. In a sukkah, people will eat, tell stories from the 40 years the Israelites spent in the desert, and just generally hang out in a sukkah. There are several symbols that accompany the holiday of Sukkot. One is the lulav, and one is the etrog. The lulav is a closed date palm frond, a willow branch, and a myrtle plant bound together. The etrog is a lemon-like fruit, and the lulav and etrog are used to bless sukkahs. We wave the lulav and etrog in 6 different directions to symbolize God's divine rule over everything. One of the rituals of Sukkot is called ushpizin. Ushpizin is Aramaic for visitors and guests. In this ritual, we will invite people into our sukkah. They can be real or imaginary. They can be alive or deceased. We pretend that anyone we would invite would come and join us. I would invite one of the patriarchs or matriarchs of Israel and my family into my sukkah. Who would you invite into your sukkah?
I have one more. I would invite my dad, and I would invite, I don't know, I probably would invite some past presidents of our country to glean their wisdom on how we can best move forward in a healthy way as a nation. That's what I'd invite. Anyone else?
I would invite my ancestors that I never met who were in what we refer to as the old country. Like I would like to invite my great-great-grandparents just to see what life was like for them.
I would like to invite my sister.
That's nice. Mom?
I would invite Grandma Poppy, your great-grandma and great-grandpa, and also Miles Davis for some really good music.
Okay. At the end of Sukkot is the festival day of Simchat Torah. Simchat Torah is the yearly cycle of reading Torah, is when the yearly cycle of reading Torah has ended and the new cycle has begun. We celebrate it by taking all the Torah scrolls out of the ark in the synagogue and singing and dancing. My favorite song to dance to in the Torah would probably be the Micha Mocha. But you don't have to just dance to Jewish songs. It's more important that the dancing be a celebration and joyous. Having a bat mitzvah is meaningful to me because I feel like it's a rite of passage in Judaism that I want to experience. Also, partly because everyone on my mom's side of my family has had a bar or bat mitzvah, and it feels a bit like tradition. I probably don't really understand how cool it is that I've stood up here in front of so many people that I know and love, and led a service in 2 languages, but one day I'm sure I will appreciate all of my hard work.
So Marlo, now you can relax, but you can't sit down yet. You've done a wonderful job. I really enjoyed working with you, even though we never got to really spend any time together in person. It was all on Zoom, which is not the easiest way to prepare for a bar bat mitzvah for sure. But you did a great job this morning, and we have a little blessing for you. The first one is a song. May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face be radiant as the brightness of the sky.
May your lips speak words of wisdom, and may the world you live in be the world of your dreams. May you see a world created in your lifetime. May you see your visions come to be. May your hope touch every generation to come. These are the prayers we have for you. May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face be radiant as the brightness of the sky. May your lips speak words of wisdom, and may the world you live in be the world of your dreams. May you be blessed with understanding, with wisdom and compassion in your heart. May your tongue be filled with song, may your lips sing out for justice. These are the prayers we have for you. May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face be radiant as the brightness of the sky. May your lips speak words of wisdom, and may the world you live in be the world of your dreams. May the world you live in be the world of your dreams. May the world you live in be the world of your dreams.
Okay, Miss Marlo, you have done a beautiful job this morning, and Miss Julie Greenberg is going to come forward and share a few treats with you, and I think she's carrying a lulav. Oh my goodness, and an etrog. Miss Julie, what do you have there?
Well, I figured,
Yeah.
since we just got such a good mini lesson on Sukkot, and Sukkot's one of my very favorite holidays, partially just because I like fall when it starts to feel a little cooler outside, but
Oh, yes.
I feel like you really should be able to shake the lulav on your bat mitzvah. Just give it a little shake. Yeah. We got the palm and the willow and the myrtle, and here's the etrog, and since you don't have your mask on, you can get a good smell of it. Smell it. It smells so good. Right? So we'll leave those up there, but anybody, I figured we might have a few folks who had never seen a lulav before. Anyway, Mazel Tov. I can't believe I'm standing here with you because I'm flashing back to when we first met. Do you remember when we first met?
Yeah,
Where was it?
it was like in the hallway, I think.
Well, no, we met at Fido, remember? We decided we were going to have a first little meeting of the minds to make sure that you and your sister really felt like you wanted to jump into this world. And so probably at that moment you had no idea, right, that you would wind up here leading our congregation in worship. It's amazing to me, Marlo, how far you've come. I'm so proud of you, and I know I share the pride of your family and friends who are here today. And here's the thing about Mrs. Greenberg, right? It's my job and my heart to say to you, this is not the end, right? This is only another beginning, because now you're considered an adult in the eyes of the tradition. And here at Micah, we take our call to do justly and love mercy and walk humbly really seriously, and we need help with that work in this world, right? So I'm happy for you as a 7th grader in our program this year that you'll still get to continue to study, and your teacher is amazing, Miss Kenyon. You'll be looking at all sorts of mitzvot and really working, doing a deep dive in tzedakah this year, right? And figuring out, just like Rabbi Lori said, how you can apply the principles that are in the Torah that you've read so beautifully. Now we're going to put it out into the world. And I feel better about the world, personally, knowing that you're going to be in it doing that work with us. You are a bright light, and we just are so proud of you and appreciative of all the hard work it took to get to this point. So we have some gifts There is a certificate, of course, that's just required of all Jewish milestones. So here's your certificate to.
Go ahead and sign that.
Oh, great. Let's do that. Good idea, Rabbi Lori. There you go. And then below the certificate, there's also a gift certificate for it should you decide to, you want to go to Israel with NIFTY, which is our national youth group. This is a $250 gift certificate toward that trip. And we have other travel opportunities coming up for you as well. That's the other fun part. Once you get to this point in your Jewish education, we start to take our show on the road. So you're going to have an opportunity in the next year to go to Alabama. We're going to do a civil rights tour trip down to Alabama. You get to go to New York with us. You get to go to Israel if you like. Washington, D.C. factors in every few years. So we have lots more fun for you. And really looking forward to your company. And then in here, I won't let you open it right now, but just so you know, there's a beautiful Kiddush cup that will allow you in your Jewish adulthood to celebrate Shabbat and Passover and all sorts of glorious life cycle and holiday events moving forward. And we hope you always remember where you got your start. Okay. Mazel tov, sweetie. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Julie. Appreciate that. All right, Marlo, we're going to put this back in here so you can take it home with you. Okay. I echo Miss Lisa and Miss Julie's words that it has been a pleasure. And admittedly, and I think you would agree, not always super easy. And you have trooped it out because it is one thing just to learn on Zoom. It's another thing to learn in a foreign language on Zoom. It's not pleasant, right? It's hard. It's hard to motivate to do the work. And look what you've done. Look at all the prayers that you've learned and the Torah you read so beautifully. And I do think you have a lot to feel very accomplished and proud of today. And I hope you do. And I think that the gentleman in your family, it's her great-grandfather, correct, this tallis, would be quite proud and honored that you're wearing that tallis to do so today. So we are going to go ahead and return our Torah to the Ark in just a moment. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Your parents are going to come forward? How could I have forgotten? Come on forward. Share some words, and we're just going to remind you to use the microphone when you do. Whatever you want. Somebody wants to speak first. One of you can go. Either one. Go ahead.
I feel gratitude and pride and love. I'm very happy. Excuse me for a second. I teach classes. I'm not used to stumble into this, but I'm a little overwhelmed right now by my own emotions. For those of you who know Marlo, she's a warm and loving adult according to Jewish law, and she can also be very strong-willed. Those don't have to be mutually exclusive. Marlo is evidence for that. She always has been like that from early on. She learned to talk before she reached the age of 1, and she learned to run, not just to walk or stand. She would get up from a sitting position and run. And the first sentence that she said was, "Here comes Marlo." And from that moment on, I knew that she will go her way in any direction that she'd love to. And now that she's here and passed that initiation rite and is an adult, as said, I know where this is going. She will probably tell me that she wants to drive a car.
Thank you.
No. Well, for now, a down payment has to do the trick. I just want to say one thing. I'm grateful for the home that you provided here at the Congregation Micah for her, that you let her into your hearts. And I hope that everyone who knows her opens their hearts, if you not have already done so, to her and welcome her. Thank you so much. I'm just grateful for everything that you made here, and to you all to be here for her. Thank you.
Good morning, friends, family, and congregants. Thank you all for attending, especially Marlo's grandma, who flew in from New York to be here today. We're so thrilled that all of you are here to celebrate with us on this most special occasion. Marlo, it's been such an honor to watch you grow into the remarkable young adults you have become. And we're all, of course, so proud of all that you have accomplished to be here today, so gracefully and skillfully leading us in song and reflection and inspiration. It's especially fitting that Marlo's Torah portion teaches us about Sukkot, a time to offer gratitude for the fall harvest. And as many of you know, Marlo has always had a real green thumb, which incidentally is by far a family trait. And ever since she was a little one, she has expressed an intrinsic desire to grow all kinds of foods, typically from end scraps of vegetables and seeds and pits that she has often secretly saved from the fate of the garbage can. One of her most recent and prized cultivations is an avocado tree that she raised from just a pit. She has dutifully tended to it for over a year now, enjoying both a sense of accomplishment and wonderment at each stage of growth. The most dramatic moment in this plant's life cycle thus far was when the pit literally split open as the stalk emerged from it. As we stood gazing over the pot, she informed me that this was the point where the seedling had morphed into a juvenile. And I cannot help but notice the similarity today as we celebrate your own emergence from the protected shell of childhood, both rising up to experience the challenges and successes that will shape you, while simultaneously deepening and spreading roots to secure and steady you amidst the soft surroundings that have enveloped you in safety and nourishment. As we mark your transition from childhood to young adulthood through this rite of passage of becoming a bat mitzvah, know that there is a community of people who surround you and support you, both now and in the future, that you may lean on any time and any day to guide you along your path. We love you so very much. Congratulations and mazel tov.
Thanks, Mom. I love you. I don't want to embarrass them like that.
It wasn't as beautiful, don't worry. We loved it. I promise it was awesome. You did a great job. Yeah. Now I will invite you to rise as we return our Torah to the Ark, and I'll invite Eva, you want to come back up here and help us dress the Torah? We could use your help. Come on up. Awesome. Please rise.
הודו על ארץ ושמיים, וירם קרן לעמו, תהילה לכל חסידיו, לבני ישראל, עם קרובו. הללויה, hallelujah. עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה, ותומכיה מאושר, דרכיה דרכי נועם,
v'chol netivoteha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu, Chadesh Yameinu kekedem. We conclude with Aleinu on page 282. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teit gedula l'yotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyeh haratzot, v'lo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'goralenu kechol hamonam. V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lamelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad Ushamo echad.
I'll ask you to remain standing as we honor those whose yortzites fall on this Shabbat. Steve Geringer, Paul Richter, Crystal Miller, Herman Aggie, Sandra Saltzman, Martin Haber, Doug Blattner, Fran Galante, Elvin Ress, May Rappaport, Alex Zamek, Marvin Cotton, Morton Adler, Max Salberg, and Mark Galbraith. We also honor the memories of Maurice Stone, Emma Stone, and Frank Saslow. If I have not mentioned a name you'd like to include for our mourners Kaddish, please do so at this time. Page 294. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Ve'alma divrach Yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, V'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, V'agalau v'zman kari v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olmei almaya, Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit pa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar v'yitalei v'yitalal Shemei d'kudashah barichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'asei shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may the memories of our loved ones be for us a blessing every day. Together we say, amen. Miss Marlo, you have led a beautiful service this morning. We are going to have you sign the Torah scroll. I'm just not on my game, Lisa, thank you for reminding me. So every one of our students who has their bar about mitzvah on this bima adds their name to our auspicious scroll of names. Don't worry, it's not an actual Torah, but it is nearly as important to us because it is the archive of every amazing student like yourself who has stood here and done what you did today. So you're going to go ahead and add your name right under Larissa's. Yep. And then together we say Mazel Tov,
Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov, and Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la yalla la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la yalla la, yalla la la la, yalla 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 la la la, yalla la la la. Kiva moed, kiva moed, kiva moed, kiva moed. Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la yalla la, yalla la la la,
ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la ya la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Kiva mo